Jeremy's just building tension with the music right now. Come on, man. Like, the nerves aren't bad enough as it is. Folks, welcome to Game 2. Your Rough Riders facing off against Okanagan here in the semifinals between positions 3 and 2. Nakaha Tier 1 state championships. Thank you for joining us here at Game 2 early in the morning. Nice 10-15 start. Winslow Mukai gets the start at net. Nickerson, Schoenheider back on D. Up front, Halleck, Schofield, and Shibby. Pierce wins it back to his defenseman. Wilmot carries it across, dumps it in. Chasing behind the nets, Nickerson battling with Patterson. Patterson comes out with the puck. Patterson takes a big hit from Nicky. Schoenheider on the far side. Collects the puck on the boards. Out comes Wilmot. That shot hits a stick, ramps up and goes high. In the corner, Nicky battling with Patterson. Patterson chips it up and out of play. And we'll see a face-off in the neutral zone. Change of personnel now for the Rough Riders. Krestoff and Meyer back on D. Mattioli, Bliven, and Dixon up front now. Bliven and Huderich. Bliven wins it on his backhand, but that hits something. Hazelwood collects, leaves it for Bartunik. Bartunik circles, spins away, touches it up to Krestoff. Krestoff grabs the puck, tipped in by Mattioli. Chasing it down is Bliven. Dixon delivers a check that knocks over several players. And now a battle in the near side corner. Dixon almost comes out with the puck, feeds it up to Krestoff. Krestoff's shot, that's blocked by Bartunik. Bartunik stung a little bit. Shot, stick save by the Okanagan goaltender on the first shot of the game. Long shot, stick save by Winslow Mukai into the far corner. Meyer steps up, breaks apart the play. Bliven steps in to help out, tries to chip it past. And now Meyer to Krestoff. Krestoff out of the corner, up to Dixon. It was on his backhand. He couldn't collect it. That shot was wide of Mukai's net. Meyer into the corner. Up high to the point. Shot. That's tipped wide of the net. Coming around. It was bouncing in the crease and now sent the length of the ice for an icing. Clutch play. Was that Owen? Clutch play by Owen Meyer to dig the puck out of the crease as it went up and over Mukai. Puck is down. Giffen wins it forward, up to the point. Dumped in. Green battles with O'Connell. O'Connell collects the puck out of the corner, tries to feed it up to Hernandez. That's cut off. Long shot, blocker saved by Mukai. Batted down, but collected by the Rough Riders. Now back to Okanagan. Shot. That's blocked by O'Connell. It's in his skates. Shot goes wide off a skate across to Hersink. Hersink looks to shoot, decides to dump it into the corner. Into the corner's O'Connell. He pushes it over. Now chipped up off the glass. That's going to go the length of the ice, but not for an ice. That looks like it's going to sit up. No, not so much. That makes the goal line, gets shut down for the icing. Pierce and Palak in for this face-off. Pierce wins it back. Schofield collects the puck in the crease, chips it out. Off the boards. Back is Meyer to pull it out of his near side corner. Meyer rims it around right as he gets hit by Wilmot. Now a bouncing puck. It's collected by Cooper. Cooper feeds Schofield. Schofield on the right side. Finds Shibby. Shibby's shot. Pad saved by the goaltender. Rebounds collected by Nickerson up at the blue line. And now back comes Okanagan. Krestoff breaks apart the play. Palak scoops it forward to Shibby. Shibby carries it across the line. Shot that's blocked by Zimmerman. And now into the corners, Nickerson. Nickerson tries to pull the puck as it gets stuck on the Zam doors. Okanagan now breaks out. Pass broken apart by Cooper. Palak with the puck across the red line. Dodges an incoming hit from Wilmot. And now the puck almost held in. Back to Nickerson. Jacob to Krestoff. Krestoff tries to find Dixon. He was tied up by a player. It's dumped in by Mattioli and blocked by a shin pad. And then a hand pass gets whistled down as it was gloved down by a Rough Riders player. Face-off, controlled by Okanagan. Bliven streaking across, finds the puck, leaves it for Dixon, who dumps it in. Collected by an Okanagan defenseman, pass out to the far side. Dixon steps in, breaks apart the play. Dixon at the center line, leaves it for Bliven. Bliven dumps it in. Goaltender out of his net to slow down the puck. Now it comes back up the near side boards as Okanagan looks to break out. Find it, find it. Okanagan with an early goal here in the first. As the puck was loose in the crease, Mukai was hunting for it. Everybody was swinging at it, but nobody could connect with it until it was buried in the net. Giffen battles for the puck on the face-off. Hernandez tries to pull it out, leaves it for Corcoran. Corcoran dumps it in and then chases down his dump-in. Corcoran there pushes it forward into the near side corner. Across is Giffen to break apart the play. Okanagan collects behind their own net. Long pass, that goes the length of the ice. And it gets whistled down for the icing. Here's a shot, blocker save on a shot from Schofield. Okanagan collects the rebound, but Shibby steps in, tries to break apart the play. Okanagan tries to break it out. Puck ends up on Meyer's stick. Meyer to Nickerson. Nickerson back to Meyer. Owen looks up ice, goes rink wide, finds Schofield. Schofield pulls that out of the air, but Okanagan picks up a loose puck. Back to Nickerson. Nickerson goes rink wide. That gets out into the neutral zone. Cooper steps up on his player. Okanagan comes away with the puck for a moment. This time Cooper. Cooper dumps it in hard. Schofield, goalie collide as Schofield was trying to cut the corner. Held in at the line by Bliven. Okanagan recovers. Now Nickerson on the half wall. Nickerson pass up to Bliven. That's broken apart for a moment. And now a battle for the puck. Okanagan with the puck has it stripped away by Bliven. Rink-wide pass. Back is Nickerson to pick up a loose puck. Nickerson across to Schoenheider. Schoenheider. Long dump through that hits Pierce's stick on the way through and the icing is negated. Dixon battling for the puck in the corner supported by Mattioli. Dixon comes out with the puck. Now into the far corner, goes up high to Schoenheider. Schoenheider holds it at the line. Shot is blocked. Breakaway now with Okanagan. And a big toe save by Mukai. And on the rebound makes a second save and then hangs on to it. Living in for this face-off. Wins it back. O'Connell into the corner to collect the puck. McConnell with Huderick crashing on him. Sends it around. Bliven back behind the back pass to Meyer. Meyer, backhand pass up to Dixon. Dixon on the blue line, collects it. Tries to work his way wide on Zimmerman and does. Circles the net but loses the puck. And now Okanagan looks to break out. Breakout pass cut off by Bliven. Dixon takes a shot. Pad save by the Okanagan goaltender. Into the corner. And an errant pass is going to be collected by Meyer and dumped back in. Okanagan looking to break out. Mattioli steps up, grabs a loose puck, dumps it back into the near side corner. Hernandez there, breaks apart the play, but an Okanagan player recovers the puck. Rink-wide pass, that's out of the reach. That's going to go the length of the ice for an icing. And we'll have a face-off for the Rough Riders in their offensive zone. Face-off up high. Nickerson uses his partner, Schoenheider. Dumps it toward the net. That's wide. Now a battle for the puck along the end wall. Corcoran comes up with it. Corcoran up high to Schoenheider. Schoenheider shot. Tipped. Save. Hernandez tries to find the puck in the slot. Now it's broken out by Okanagan. Long shot. Easy glove save for Mukai as he hangs on to that one. Cooper in for this face-off. Wins it back into the corner. Racing into the corner's Nickerson. He one-hands that away over to Schofield. Schofield steps away from a check. Tries to feed Palak. Palak back to Schofield. Schofield, one touch up to Shibby. In the neutral zone, Shibby collects it out of his skates. Shibby works his way wide. Centering pass. Pad save. Shot and tip was wide of the net. Now Schofield with the puck. Has it stripped away. And out comes Okanagan. Offside at the blue line. And we'll have a face-off in front of the Boulder bench. Face-off collected by Schofield over to Schoenheider. Schoenheider tries to find Palak in stride, but that was just inside the triangle, slipped under his stick and goes the length of the ice for an icing. Face-off, won by Okanagan, up to the point, shot, that's wide of Mukai's net, picked up, sent back in. Down low is Pierce. Pierce tries to step away from Schoenheider. Centering pass, big save, loose puck is pushed wide of the net. Now up high to the point, long shot, that's in his breadbasket. Mukai hangs on to that one. Let's go, Win! Living in for this face-off, wins that back. Mukai forced to hold on to it as it came right to him in the crease. Bliven again against Huderick. Bliven wins it behind him, stepping into it's Krestoff. Krestoff rims it around hard. Touch pass to Bliven, but it doesn't get out. Collected, shot. That's wide of the net. Hits the boards and up into the netting. We'll see another face-off to win the Mukai's left. One up high, long shot. That's blocked by Meyer. Picked up by Mattioli. Mattioli lugs it out to the neutral zone. Mattioli works his way wide, stops short, centering pass. No one there at the bottom of the crease. And now Okanagan recovers the puck. Just out of Meyer's reach. Meyer races back, picks up the puck, gets run into by another Okanagan player. And now Mattioli chips it free into the neutral zone. Back is Zimmerman to pick up the puck. Zimmerman looks up ice to Bartunek. That's tipped. Picked up by Krestoff. Krestoff, long pass out to the neutral zone. That's not an ice, as Mattioli touched it into the offensive zone. Now back comes Okanagan. Errant pass ends up on Nickerson's stick. Nickerson looks up ice, finds Mattioli. Mattioli touches it forward. That's collected. Mattioli breaks apart a play. Outside shot, stick save, bouncing puck is batted down by an Okanagan player, and then up to the point. Giffen back. Feeds O'Connell, carried in. Shot, stick save by Mukai. He puts that up in the netting, and there's the whistle. Liam Holtz facing off against Cooper Palak. Nope, Okanagan decides to change his players. On the ice now is Wilmot facing off against Palak. Won by Wilmot. Shot, that's wide of the net by Hazelwood. On the far side, Shibby touches out to Schofield. Schofield's got some room, stop short, shot. That's wide of the net. On the near side wall, Cooper takes the puck, absorbs a hit, leaves it for Shibby. Picked up by Schofield. Schofield dancing. Pass. Shot. Big save by the goaltender. Collected by Okanagan on the half wall. Up high. Shot. Pad save by the goaltender. Into the corner. Schofield with the puck. Now collected by Okanagan. Rink wide pass out to Patterson. Patterson across the line. Centering pass. Broken apart by Schoenheider. Pierce is there. Tries to turn and fire. Can't. Schoenheider touches it forward to Shibby. Shibby out into the neutral zone. Works his way through, tries to sneak past and does. Shibby cuts the middle. Shot. Oh, that hits the crossbar and stays out. Back is Okanagan. Pierce has the puck stripped away by Nickerson. Pass through the neutral zone. That's going to be whistled down for an ice. A little more offensive power from the Rough Riders here is nice to see as we get into the late point of the first period. Shot, saved by Mukai. Rebound, gobbled up with a nice glove by Winslow. As we'll see another face-off to the right of Mukai's net. The linesman shuts down the face-off, and the center is going to be ejected. Mattioli forces it up high. Shot deflected. Pad save by Mukai into the near side wall. Played up high. Tries to dump it in. That's collected by O'Connell. Dixon picks up the puck, chips it out to the neutral zone. And that puck hits the netting. And it is out of play. A whistle shuts that down. We'll have a face-off out in the neutral zone. O'Connell and Meyer on the ice on D. Giffen, Hernandez, Corcoran up on the front line. Giffen wins it back behind him to Meyer. Meyer tries to feed Hernandez. It's out of his reach. Okanagan with the puck. Through the neutral zone now. Cuts to the middle. Shot. Stick save by Mukai. Meyer into the corner. Can't quite find the puck. Meyer steps into goal. Ties up the player. Casey battling with Giffen. Now the puck is worked free. On the near side, Hernandez dodges an incoming check. Nice stick check from Hernandez. Breaks apart the play. O'Connell to Hernandez. Hernandez dumps it out on his backhand to the neutral zone. Collected by Zimmerman. Zimmerman mishandles the puck. Leaves it in the neutral zone. Palak up to Schofield. Schofield, 2-on-1. Tries to feed it across. Oh, shot! Pass right through the crease. Palak wasn't able to get a stick on it and tuck it in. Now Palak out of the corner with the puck. Loses it off his stick. Schofield battling with Zimmerman. That puck comes around to the near side. Shibby tries to step into the defenseman and break apart the play. It's chipped up high and out to the neutral zone. Krestoff feeds Schofield. Schofield's got some room. Schofield to Shibby. Shibby gets a quick shot off, but Hazelwood stick knocks that up into the netting, and we have a stoppage. 3:03 remaining here in the first. Face-off, one up high. Nickerson's shot is wide of the mark. Near side corner. Mattioli battles for the puck. Bliven steps in to help out. Tries to break it free. Goes up high to Schoenheider. Schoenheider over to Nickerson. Nickerson centering pass. That's tipped on net through the 5-hole. And that's in the back of the net, making this a 1-1 hockey game. I think that tip came from Bliven, beating the Okanagan goaltender. 2:45 to go here in the first. And now some energy from the Rough Rider bench as everybody's on their skates. Pierce wins it back, dumped in hard. That's behind the net. Schoenheider into the far corner. Nickerson behind his net. Can't quite get the stick. Patterson comes away with the puck. He sends it over to the other side. Schoenheider tracks this one down. To the middle. Patterson has it sticked away by Nickerson. Into the corners. Wilmot. Wilmot guarded by Nickerson. Centering pass. Pad saved by Mukai. Puck around to the far side by Nickerson. Nickerson tries to feed Dixon on his backhand, but it was out of his reach. Bliven sweeps through. Feeds it over to Mattioli. Mattioli on the half wall. That puck squirts free, collected by Wilmot, rimmed around. Long pass out into the neutral zone. Meyer with Pierce behind him. Bats that one down, sends it back in. Schofield now with the puck. Up at the blue line, sends it down low. Mattioli tries to track it down. Leaves it for Palak. Palak to Mattioli. Mattioli into the crease, but loses the puck. Collected by Wilmot. Wilmot dumps it in for Green. Green chasing that down. Up high. Shot. That's wide of the net as Farber was looking for a tip. Sent down around. Meyer into the near side corner. Meyer taken out of the play by Farber. Schofield collects a pass. Feeds Shibby. Shibby into the neutral zone. Across the red line. Dumps it in on his backhand. Behind the net is the Okanagan goaltender to collect the puck. Zimmerman now off the end wall. Held in at the line by Nickerson. And then a broken play is dumped in. Sorry, not by Nickerson, by Meyer. And that goes the length of the ice. Nickerson lifting the Okanagan player's stick. Eliminates the icing. Puck is loose. O'Connell picks that up. 40 seconds remaining here in the first. O'Connell tries to feed Schofield. That's off the wall behind him. Shot blocked by Bliven. Zimmerman dumps it in. Comes down off the dasher. It's rimmed back around this side. Schofield picks up the puck. Centering pass that skips over Bliven's stick. Now picked up by Okanagan. Shot in. Mukai grabs that out of the air and hangs on. 18 seconds to go. Oh, it's cold. I know. I'm just trying to be very aware. No, I'm trying to remain aware. As long as I can feel it, I'm good. Face-off, won by Bliven. Collected by Nickerson, rimmed around hard to Dixon. Dixon chips it out to the neutral zone. Picked up by Hazelwood. Hazelwood slides it across. Tracking this one down is Nickerson. He gets the puck in the corner, spins away from a check, ducks under Huderich's check, and there's the horn and a little extracurriculars after the whistle. And those players take exception right at the end of the whistle. Everything gets separated by the officials. And we get a break. All right, folks, a return to action. Dumped in hard by Bliven. Thompson out of his net to play the puck. On his backhand, wraps it around to Bartunik. Good. Thank you. Collected now, centering pass, skips, shot. Big glove save by Thompson. He hangs on. Face-off collected by Okanagan, chipped out, but now picked up by Farber. Farber dumps it in hard. That goes behind Mukai's net. A battle between Dixon and Green, I believe. Up high, shot, that hits Bliven, goes wide. Behind the net again. Collected by Dixon. Dixon tries to feed Mattioli and does. Mattioli steps past one player. Shot. That is just high in the net. Held in at the line by Cooper. Cooper centering pass. Tries to feed Schofield. It was out of his reach. Tipped out to the neutral zone. Nickerson spins away from pressure. Backhand feeds Cooper. Cooper couldn't quite find it. Schofield collects it. Now fed across wide. Dumped in hard. Mukai out of his net to slow down the puck. He leaves it there. Collected, sent the length of the ice. Some room for Schofield. Schofield one-on-one takes a shot that sticks aside by Gold. Schofield pushes Gold away, creates some room. Gold collects the puck. And now out to the neutral zone. Wilmot with the puck. Slowed up by Nicker. Ooh, that's interference. Shot. Big pad save by Mukai. Rebound collected by Schofield. Schofield across the center line. That's in offside as Nickerson got just ahead of the play. And we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone in front of the Rough Riders bench. Face-off, picked up by Shibby. Shibby shot. I think that was a save. I think that hit the goaltender's glove and ended up in the glass. Meyer collects the puck off the half wall, sends it down low. Now Zimmerman behind his own net. Goes out to the right wing. Long pass to the neutral zone. Collected by Pierce. Pierce steered wide by Nickerson. Into the end wall. Pierce still with the puck as Nickerson finally separates him from the puck. Pierce again behind the net. Hemmed in. He goes back behind the net one more time. And now Schofield off the half wall. Schofield through the neutral zone. Tries to go wide on Zimmerman. Beats him. Loses an edge. Fires it. That's off the goal frame. Now back the other way. Long pass through the neutral zone. Collected by Casey. Casey, that shot's well over Winslow Mukai's net. Shot blocked by Giffen. That's wide of the net. On the end wall. A couple of players collide and fall down. Now out is Schofield into the neutral zone. Schofield feeds Corcoran. Corcoran dumps it in, takes a check for his troubles. Down low's Hazelwood. He rims it around to Bartunek. Bartunek tries to step away. Corcoran picks off that pass. And now Holt carries it out to the neutral zone. Holt through the neutral zone. Shot, that's blocked by Krestoff. Into the corner now. Holt, centering pass, goes what high to Hazelwood. Hazelwood, long shot, glove saved by Mukai. He hangs on to that one. 12-18 remaining here in the second. Face-off won by the Rough Riders. Down low, rimmed around by Meyer. That's kicked out, picked up by Okanagan. Farber on his backhand, shovels it toward the net, but it was wide. Farber again with the puck. Goes up high to Hazelwood. Hazelwood tries to take a wrist shot that jumps over his stick. Back down low. Dixon on the half wall, tries to get to it. Fed up high to Hazelwood. Hazelwood from the right side. His shot blocked by Dixon. Dixon now takes a hit, loses the puck. Dumped in by... Was that Liam? Huff. Dumped in by Huff. Now broken free. Back to Huff. Huff goes across to his partner on the right side. Hazelwood dumps it in. Huff dumps it in again. Into the corners, Meyer. Now collected. Sent up to Dixon. Dixon on the left side. Tries to break out. That's brought back in offside and whistled down. Face-off controlled, dumped in hard. That's into the far corner. Back is Schoenheider. Now a battle for the puck. Shot that hits something on the way through and is blocked aside. Schofield shovels it out to Cooper. Cooper up to Shibby. Just gets under Shibby's stick into the near far side corner. Shibby separates the player. Comes away with the puck. On his backhand, feeds it into the slot. Pierce grabs it. Works it out to Patterson. Patterson across the blue line. Centering pass is knocked aside by Nickerson. Now down low. Chasing that down is Schoenheider. Schoenheider grabs the puck off the boards. Works it free to Schofield. Schofield past one player. Schofield has Schoenheider in the middle. And then has it sticked away by Hersink. Hersink leaves it for Wilmot. Wilmot, Pierce, Hersink back 3-on-2. Shot, stick save by Mukai. That comes out wide to the near side boards. Collected by Schofield. Schofield tries to feed it across to Giffen. Giffen into the corner, pins his player. Corcoran tries to pull it off the boards, can't. Casey now with the puck. Gets hemmed in by Giffen. That's left loose for Hernandez. Hernandez turns, tries to center it. That hits a stick. And goes all the way out through the neutral zone, back to the defensive end. Meyer now back at his circle, spins away, chips it out to the neutral zone, just out of Hernandez's reach. Gold now with the puck. Rink-wide pass, that's tipped in. As Meyer on his backhand tries to feed Hernandez. Hernandez's pass goes all the way through, out to the neutral zone. Gold now across to his partner Zimmerman. Zim feeds it forward to Bartunek. Bartunek was out of his reach. And now a bouncing puck is back on Zimmerman's stick. Zimmerman back to Gold. Gold feeds it to Vugarich. Back to Gold. Gold through the neutral zone. Takes a shot that hits O'Connell's stick and goes wide. Now slapped out through the neutral zone. Zimmerman got a piece of it and slowed it down. Zim turns, feeds it forward. It bounces off Bartunek's stick. And now we're just playing slap-a-puck. Uh-oh, that's a hook. Was a hook. That didn't impact the play. Like, the player ended up holding on to it and then turned away from the puck and threw the stick. So it's like if he kept his feet moving. Up high to Gold. Gold, shot. Through traffic, beats Win Mukai on his glove side. He never saw the shot. That makes this a 2-1 hockey game. Holt tries to dump it in. Nickerson grabs that puck, feeds it forward to Mattioli. Mattioli works his way wide on Farber, gets knocked to the ice. Mattioli bounces back up, grabs the puck. Now Farber, his pass ends up in the slot. No one there from the Rough Riders, and Okanagan breaks out, dumps it in. Back is Nickerson behind his own net. Tries to feed it over to Dixon. Nickerson back, stops short, breaks away from pressure. And now feeds it through the zone to Dixon. Slow-moving puck is going to get chased down by Mattioli, but Hazelwood's there first. He rims it around the green. And now broken apart. Here's Schofield's got some room. Shot hits the frame, hits the post. Hazelwood battling with Palak. Mattioli steps in, gets hit by Holt, but the puck is loose and free for Schofield. Schofield spins around. Schofield looking. He sends it right through the crease, but it's in the air. Nobody can get a piece of it. And now Liam Holt tries to feed it out to Farber. Schoenheider with the puck. Bounces it off the boards. Touch pass to Schofield. Schofield shot. That's wide of the net. Schofield on the half wall. Leaves it for Palak. Palak tries to feed it back to Schofield. That hits Hazelwood on the way through. Palak to Schofield. Schofield shot. That hits Thompson in the cage. Centering pass, finds Shibby. Shibby turnaround shot, saved by Thompson, and that ends up in the netting. Rough Riders with a flurry of shots here as they try to even up the game. Officials having a quick conversation about the location of the face-off. Face-off controlled by Okanagan. Patterson chips it out to the neutral zone. Nickerson there, slows it up. Wilmot finds the puck. Now it's with Coe. Coe feeds Wilmot. Wilmot cuts to the middle, gets knocked to the ice by Palak. And now a battle for the puck in the corner. Comes loose. Cooper with the puck now. Tries to feed Shibby. It was behind him. He never found it. It dumped back in deep. Now Okanagan centering pass. Finds Patterson, but Patterson couldn't collect the puck. Now here comes Shibby. Shibby works his way wide. Dodges a check centering pass. It's loose in the crease. Still loose. Fed back to Thompson. It's still loose. And a shot. Oh, big save from Thompson. That puck ends up in the corner. Nickerson on the half wall tries to slow it down. Now the puck is sent out. That's not going to go the length of the ice. Corcoran back, picks up the puck, spins behind his own net. And now Corcoran tries to get it free into the neutral zone. Pinned in at the line, and now it's broken out. Pass to Pierce. Pierce looking, shot. Easy save for Win Mukai as it was right in his breadbasket. And we get a stoppage at 5:30. Face-off worked free and sent out to the neutral zone by Hernandez. Back is Gold with the puck. Gold feeds it up to Casey. Casey dumps it in, gloved down by Hernandez. He leaves it there for Giffen. Giffen couldn't quite break free. Bartunek back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman almost an errant pass over to Gold. Gold up ice. Meyer grabs that one, sends it back the other way. Gold from the top of his circle. Gold through the neutral zone, across the line. Dumps it in behind the net. Now shoveled away. Hernandez breaks apart that play. Giffen goes rink wide over to Corcoran. Corcoran dumps it in hard. Thompson out of his net, slows up the puck. Collected by Zimmerman. Zimmerman back to Gold. Pass out to Bartunek. Bartunek chips it through the neutral zone. Centering pass, broken away by Meyer. Dixon feeds it out through the neutral zone. Back is Hazelwood. Hazelwood wraps it around hard. Dixon's going to be there to hold it in. Zimmerman takes a hit from Bliven. That puck comes out. Meyer now with the puck. Meyer looking up ice. Off the boards, trying to feed it. And does. Mattioli picked it up easily. Mattioli then retaliates, grabs a player. Thompson leaving his net for an extra attacker. And the Rough Riders grab the puck. And the Rough Riders on a penalty kill. Face-off will be to the right of Winslow Mukai's net in the near side corner. Pierce facing off against Cooper Palak into the corner. Nickerson battling for the puck. takes the knee as he rims it around, but that doesn't make it all the way out. On the half wall, Pierce with the puck. Play is broken apart by Nickerson and then stripped off his stick by Pierce. Puck up high. Wilmot, shot, pad save by Mukai into the near side corner. Wilmot on the point, tries to hold on to it, is stepped into by Cooper Palak, and then Nickerson grabs the puck, sends it the length of the ice, and that gets whistled down for the icing. Pierce gets ejected from the face-off. Face-off won back by Bliven. Meyer there in the corner ties up the puck in his player. Bliven steps in to help out. Now that puck is free up the half wall. And now another penalty coming, this time against Bliven. Looks like a high hit, a cross check. Rough Riders now skating 5-on-3. That's rimmed around hard by Nickerson. Pulled off the wall by Gold. Gold steps to the middle, shot, stick saved by Mukai, puck's loose. That ends up in the far corner. Up high to Pierce. Pierce goes out wide to Wilmot, who goes for a one-timer. That slips off his stick into the near side corner. Nickerson steps in, rims it out into the neutral zone. Gold to Wilmot. Wilmot back over to Gold. Gold pauses, skates through the neutral zone. 2 seconds remaining on the first penalty. Over to Patterson. Shibby on the ice to try to help out. Shibby sweeps it away. Shibby has an opportunity with a breakaway. Shibby skates, pad save, and then sent out. Schoenheider with the puck. Schoenheider back to Nickerson. Nickerson tries to feed Coop. Pulled away by Gold. Gold shot. Blocker saved by Mukai into the near side corner. It's loose. Nickerson slows up his player as he tries to get to the puck. Okanagan comes out with the puck. Up high to Gold. Gold on the half wall to Pierce. Pierce spins away from a check. Tries to cut to the middle. Feeds it down low. Swept away by Nickerson. That's behind the net. Now full strength as Schofield gets on the ice. Players look tired in their defensive end. Wilmot with the puck out of the corner. Centering pass that hits a stick and Mukai dives on it and hangs on. 1:12 remaining here in the second. Face off, one into the corner. Myers the first one there on his backhand, sends it to the other side. Up to Dixon. He takes a hit to make the play. The puck is out. And now an errant pass gets past Farber, chipped through the neutral zone, and ends up in our in the Boulder bench, in the Rough Riders bench. 55 seconds remaining here in the second period. As the Rough Riders look once again to even up this game. Dumped in. Chasing it down is Hazelwood. Hazelwood Sends it up the boards. That's cut off by O'Connell. Now collected by Mattioli. Mattioli cuts to the middle, loses the puck. Hazelwood tries to feed it out. Picked up by Holt. Holt to Farber. Swept away, shot toward the net. Mukai gets a stick on it, and that ramps up into the netting. It is cold. Face off, one into the corner. Player is down, and a penalty coming. .33 seconds. We have a power play. An opportunity here for the Rough Riders. Even this one up as we end the second period. Pelican for this face-off. Wilmot comes away with the puck, feeds it out wide to Patterson. Patterson chasing this one down. Gets, oh God. And a big hit and a retaliation. Officials are going to be sorting this one out for a moment. Of course, yeah. Why don't we put it up here? That way nobody steps on it. Like if it's right under. Yeah. Yep, of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. Go ahead. All right, folks. It's going to be 4-on-4. Shibby picks up the penalty for the hit in the corner, and then Cooper's in the net in the box along with Bliven, probably all for matching minor roughs. They'll be skating 4-on-4 here. Face off, one back to the corner. Picked up by Schoenheider. Schoenheider, with a little bit of time, feeds it forward. Here comes Mattioli. Mattioli, long shot, blocker to side by Thompson. Into the corner, Schofield. Schofield tries to feed it to Mattioli. That sneaks under his stick. Now back comes Holt with the puck. Holt feeds Casey. That's in offside and gets whistled down. Face off. Controlled by Okanagan. There's the horn. That's the end of the second period. And we'll pause for a break here. All right, folks, we get ready to return to the action here in the third period. So in the end, the penalties that were assessed were minor misconducts. One for a board for Shibby on the check that he delivered, and then everybody else that ended up in the box had a minor misconduct for head contact. We'll be skating 4-on-4 here for the next 57 seconds. Liam Holt wins it on his backhand, picked up by Schoenheider. Schoenheider into the corner, couldn't find his way to the puck. Picked up again this time by Bartunik, across the blue line. Out wide, centering pass. Mukai with a nifty little stick save. Leaves it there for O'Connell to pass it out to the neutral zone. Here comes Bartunik again, right down the slot. Pushed wide, poke check from Mukai, pushes that puck away. And now up to Schoenheider. Schoenheider with the puck. Across the red line, he dumps it in on the net. That bounces, skips past Thompson. And now collected by Okanagan. Okanagan, rink-wide pass. Long dump in. Easy glove save for Mukai. And he decides to hang on to it. Schofield on his backhand wins it over to Krestoff. It's in everybody's skates. Kugarich finally forces it down low. Meyer pulls it off the end wall. Meyer up to Giffen. Giffen tries to touch it forward to Schofield and does. It's behind Schofield. He has to pause as Meyer went rolling in offside. Meyer on his backhand dumps it in on the end wall. Tracked down. Giffen breaks apart the play. Giffen with the puck. Circles behind the net, feeds Schofield. Schofield shot. Blocker save by the Okanagan goalie. Thank you. Now Schofield. Schofield, scissor pass, dumped in by Meyer. Up the near side boards. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Play broken apart by Schofield. Tries to feed it to Dixon. Now back to Krestoff. Krestoff up to Dixon. It's in his skates. He touches it out wide to Meyer. Meyer dumps it in. Thompson out of his net to slow the puck down. Now back the other direction. Here comes Pierce. Pierce up to Patterson. Patterson across the red line, dumps it in. Behind the net, Nickerson chases that one down. Up to the half wall. Nickerson steps into Pierce, breaks apart the play. That puck behind the net, picked up by Nickerson. Nickerson off the glass to the neutral zone. Now picked up by Schoenheider. Schoenheider across the blue line. Schoenheider shot, glove save, bouncing puck. Opportunity there for Hernandez, but he couldn't put it in the back of the net. Back the other direction. Shot, pad save by Mukai. And now the puck's loose. Nickerson without a stick tries to corral it. Up to Hernandez. Hernandez works back into the corner. Spins it around to the far side. Mattioli had it taken away. Shot blocked by Nickerson. Another shot, that's blocked by somebody. I didn't see who it was. Up to the point. Shot. Pad save by Mukai into the far corner. Gold wraps it around to the near side. Green into the corner. Tracked down by O'Connell. Schoenheider steps into his player. Rims it around hard. Gold there waiting on the half wall. Gold spins away from Mattioli. Puck is poke checked out to the neutral zone by Mattioli. Rink wide pass over to Hersink. As the Rough Riders go for a change. Play broken apart by Hernandez, sent in by Schoenheider, but he couldn't get to the puck in time. Back to Meyer. Meyer, errant pass, hits a skate, picked up by Corcoran. Corcoran through the neutral zone. Schofield with a smart stick, breaks apart a pass. Schofield shot. Think that's a save that ended up on the glass. Krestoff battling for the puck, holds it at the line. Still in his skates, nobody can find it right now. And now loose. Shoveled out through the neutral zone. Back is Meyer to pick up the puck. He goes off the boards. Bouncing puck picked up by Giffen, fed to Schofield. Schofield Cross the blue line, tries to toe drag, can't. And now back comes Okanagan. Okanagan, that's in offside as Hazelwood paused. And another Okanagan skater got ahead of him. Won by Okanagan. Dumped in. O'Connell with the puck. Feeds it over to Nickerson. Nickerson passes out to Mattioli. Leaves that for Schoenheider to pick up. As the player can't. Collects the puck off the half wall. Schoenheider along the boards. Tries to work it down low. Puck is loose. Up high. Nickerson. Nickerson skates the blue line. Works his way wide. Gets whacked a couple times by Patterson. Centering pass. And that's grabbed by Thompson and held on to. Giffen wins it on his forehand to the half corner. Chasing it down is Mattioli. Mattioli, Dixon helping. That comes up high to Nickerson. Nickerson chips it off the glass, back down low. Rimmed around. Picked up by Okanagan. Held in on the half wall. Giffen tries to feed it and does to Schofield. Schofield in the slot. Couldn't find a shot. Mattioli works it into the corner. Giffen pulls it out of the corner, works it up high to Nickerson. Nickerson past one player, shovels it to Schofield. Schofield toe drag, loses the puck in his skates, and now back comes Okanagan. Pierce trying to work his way wide. That comes back out to the neutral zone. Now Gold chips it off the boards. Nickerson cuts off the pass. Nickerson to O'Connell. O'Connell back to Nickerson. Nickerson looking up ice. Chips it to the neutral zone. Picked up by Pierce. Toe drag. Can't work his way free. Nickerson finds the puck. Up to Schofield. Schofield in the neutral zone. Has some room. Schofield tries to cut it to the middle. Can't get it past. And now back comes Okanagan. Hersink. Toe drag. Shot. Pad save by Mukai. Rebound. Another pad save by Mukai. Into the corner. Hersink tries to find the puck. He's tied up by Schoenheider. Now scooped free. Hernandez tries to track it down at the line. Gets cut off by Hersink. Now back comes Okanagan again. Rimmed in hard. Shot. Glove saved by Mukai. That ends up behind the net. Up high to the point. Long shot. Mukai grabs that one and hangs on. No rebound there. And we'll have a face-off in the defensive end. 9:31 remaining here in the third period as the Rough Riders continue to try to find a way to even up this hockey game. Schoenheider wins it back. That's chipped through the neutral zone. No ice on this. Hernandez turns on the Jets to try to get there. Thompson out of his net. Mishandles the puck for a moment. And now in the near side corner. Okanagan, partner pass behind the net, up to the left wing. He tries to touch it free, but can't. Meyer across the red line, dumps it back in. That's wide of the net. First one there's Dixon. Dixon couldn't come away with the puck. Held in the corner, rimmed around by Okanagan. Sticked aside by Dixon. Dixon sends it in toward the net. Picked up by Okanagan and chipped out to the neutral zone. Meyer off the wall, tries to feed Schoenheider. Can't find him. That comes in offside. And we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone on the Okanagan blue line. Held in by Schofield, sent down low. Giffen trying to chase that one down. Can't get there in time. Up to the point. Nickerson there. Battles for the puck. It does sneak out to the neutral zone. Schofield with the puck. Goes across to Giffen. Giffen centering pass. That's gloved down. Held in at the line by O'Connell. O'Connell shot. Glove save by Thompson. Now up high to Corcoran. Corcoran on the half wall. Tries to hold it in. Okanagan lugs it out to the neutral zone. Over to Patterson. Patterson centering pass. Stick lift on Casey by Schofield. Strips the puck out to the neutral zone. No ice on this play. That's going to go the length of the ice to Thompson. Thompson passes it out to Gold. Gold across to his partner. Pass into the neutral zone. Skips all the way through. Back to Nickerson. Nickerson finds Hernandez. Hernandez, a nifty little touch to negate the icing. Thompson again, once again out of his net to play the puck. It's up to Patterson on the half wall. And now out to the neutral zone. Krestoff to Meyer. Meyer sends it the length of the ice. And that'll be an icing. Puck is down, picked up by Mattioli. Now up high, shot. That's blocked by Krestoff into the near side corner. Ugarich works it down low. Meyer steps in front of Holt, picks up the puck. Pass up to the right side on the boards. Mattioli couldn't quite clear the zone. Now does, as Schoenheider shovels it out to the neutral zone. Krestoff dumps it in. That gets waved off, luckily. And Okanagan grabs the puck below their goal line. Okanagan, rink-wide pass across. Tracking that one down is Meyer. Meyer delivers a check to his player. Holt steps into Nickerson. The puck is still loose. Nickerson comes away with the puck. Lugs it out to the neutral zone. Nickerson's going to lead the charge. Here comes Nickerson. Shot so wide of the net that hits the end wall glass. Sticked away by Mattioli. Left there. Nickerson tries to grab the puck. Can't. And now skied out to the neutral zone. That was almost too many men. Back is Giffen. Giffen, long pass out to the neutral zone. Finds Mattioli there. Mattioli leaves it for Schofield. Schofield trying to skate with it. And now a partial break. Chasing back. Patterson shot. Pad saved by Mukai. And here's Schofield. Schofield tries to get it out wide to Meyer. That hits an official. Meyer collects the puck again. Feeds it up to Schofield. Schofield tries to turn the puck. Ends up getting chipped away from him by Pierce into the corner. Now back comes Okanagan. Meyer grabs the puck, spins around, sends it back through the neutral zone, collected by Okanagan. Pass into the neutral zone, dumped in, gloved down by Krestoff, almost collected by Patterson. Krestoff into the corner, tries to chip it past Patterson, collects the puck, and a pass out to Dixon. That slips off his stick. Coe collects. Pass up to Patterson on the right side. Schoenheider steps in, separates the player from the puck. Dixon tries to chase it down. Okanagan controlling the puck here. Through the neutral zone. Pierce, tracked down by Dixon. Schoenheider delivers a check. Nickerson plays it off the end wall for Meyer. Nickerson comes out with the puck. Yeah. I told you you wanted me standing here. .4:59 remaining here in the third period. One up high. Broken apart by O'Connell. Tries to feed it out to Schofield. Schofield was just a touch ahead of it. Back the other way. Here's O'Connell. O'Connell spins. Green pulls it out of the air. Sends it over to the far corner. Far corner, Shibby. Shibby out of the box. Has some room. Gates through the neutral zone, cuts to the middle, shot that dribbles off his stick. Shot hits the crow, hits the post, and comes back across. And now to the middle shot. That's high of the net. Palick with the puck in the corner. Here's Schofield. Schofield tripped. That gets called. And the Rough Riders will go on a power play. Maybe 2. .416 remaining. Your Rough Riders have a power play. Bliven, Palick, Mattioli, Shibby, and Schofield on the ice for this power play. This is the lineup you want right now. Puck finally squirts free. Schofield steps into that, or Shibby steps into that shot. That's wide. Schofield on the half wall. Gets the puck down low. Centering pass finds Palick over to Shibby, but it was behind him. Shibby on the corner. Works it out to the middle. Picked up by Coop. Coop's shot gets covered by the goaltender. Thompson made the save. And the official thought it was covered up. One up high to Shibby. Shibby on the right point. Has some options. Plays it down to the right side. Mattioli looks. Works it down low. Tries to spin away from Pierce and loses an edge. Puck is bouncing now as the Rough Riders swarm in to help support. Here's Bliven trying to find the puck. Gets high sticked. Puck length of the ice. That'll be an ice. .42 seconds remaining on this power play. And now the Okanagan center gets ejected from the faceoff. This time, one back up high to Shibby on the right point. Shibby across the line to Schofield. Schofield's got room. Shot! And a goal! A beautiful shot! Thompson never moved. He never saw the shot. That ties this game 2-2. Corcoran with the puck off the faceoff. Corcoran shot. That's high over the net into the near far side corner. Stepping into that player is Giffen. Giffen Maddox works it down low. And now Okanagan looking to break it out. They do, out to the neutral zone. Here comes Hugerich, guarded by Nickerson. Hugerich behind the net. Up high to the point. Long shot. That's blocked into the near side corner. Casey plays it up. Corcoran chips it out of the zone. Zimmerman's going to have to chase this one down. Zimmerman at his own goal line collects the puck. Changing players on the ice for the Rough Riders. And here's Schoenheider. Schoenheider with the puck. Back to Nickerson. Nickerson looks up ice. Tries to feed Dixon. That gets past Huff. Here comes Bliven. Gold picks up the puck off the half wall. Bliven gets a stick on it. Centering pass. Finds Dixon. Shot. Toe saved by Thompson. Into the near side corner. Chipped out. Meyer slows that one down. Meyer gets a... No, that's Bliven that gets a... Mattioli that gets a stick on it. Backhand. Centering pass that goes all the way through. And now picked up. Sent the length of the ice. That could be an ice, but it's on net. Mukai stops it. Leaves it there for Meyer. Here comes Meyer. Meyer chips it out to the neutral zone. Tipped in by Bliven. Behind the net, Mattioli's going to be the first one there. He weathers a check, works it up the half wall to Schofield. Schofield sends it back down low. Mattioli on the end wall. Puck is in his skates as he battles with him. Okanagan wall is Schofield. Schofield up to Schoenheider. Shot. That's blocked. Okanagan player gets tripped up on the play. No call made. Here comes Wilmot. Wilmot shot. Stick saved by Mukai. Palick without a stick has to kick the puck free. Here's Meyer. Meyer scoops at the length of the ice. That's going to be an ice. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Winslow Mukai's net. 1:11 remaining. It's a 2-2 game here in the third period. Scoop down low. Nickerson picks it up off the end wall. Nickerson looking up ice. Picked off by Okanagan. Hugerich grabs the puck. Nickerson bats it down. Here comes Nickerson. Nicky across the line. Leaves it there for Palick. Palick looks out wide. Collected by Okanagan. That puck is not going to make it. Yes, it is. Where's the ice? Shot wide of the net. Picked up by Schofield. Schofield's got 40 seconds. Gets hooked. No call. Schofield looks up ice. Centering shot. Pass. Shot. Save. As Shibby tries to tip it in. 31 seconds remaining in the third. But it should have been an ice. Back comes Okanagan. Schoenheider steps into Wilmot. Slows him up. Puck is loose. Shibby chips it out to the neutral zone. 20 seconds remaining. Dumped in offside. And we'll have a face-off at center ice. Bliven wins it back to Meyer. Meyer over to Schoenheider. Schoenheider. That gets knocked down with a high stick. And that does get called. And we'll have a face-off in the offensive zone. 11 seconds remaining here. Cooper Palick in for this face-off. Won by Okanagan on the end wall. 8 seconds to go. Shibby battles for the puck. It comes around wide on the half wall. Held in, sent back down low, and there's the horn, folks. This game is going to bonus hockey. All right, folks, 10 minutes on the board. It's going to be 3-on-3 hockey to settle this game out. Cooper facing off against Wilmot here. Wilmot wins it back to Hazelwood. Hazelwood collects it top of his circles. Sends it out wide to Wilmot. Shibby steps into Wilmot to the ice. Not an ice somehow. Back is Coop. Coop weathers a check. That comes up high over to Wilmot. Wilmot's got room. Shot. That's high over Mukai's net on the half wall. Centering pass. Broken apart. A breakaway. A partial break here. Palick shot. Hits Thompson in the cage. And now a loose puck is collected. Sent out. Picked up by Shibby. Shibby comes in. Shibby works his way wide. Shot. That's high over the net. Coop is back to collect Casey. Cooper, stick check, breaks apart the play. Gets high stick. Here's Shibby out of the corner. Charges in. Can't get it there. Schofield with the puck. Schofield in the neutral zone. He pauses, waits for Nickerson to get on the ice. Lets Shibby make the change as well. Schofield, top of the circle, shot. That's high over the crossbar. Nickerson into the corner. Sends it down low. Schofield goes for a change. Rink-wide pass across to Patterson. Patterson slow skew the neutral zone as he lets his players change. Up to Gold. Gold tries to get to the middle. Giffen stick checks that away. Into the corners, Patterson. He leaves it on the half wall. Kicks it free out to Gold. Now Gold decides to skate it back to the neutral zone as he gets marked by Maddox Giffen. Gold. Pass over to Patterson off the wall. Patterson through the neutral zone. Loses the puck as he stick handles. Turnaround shot. Oh, well, folks, that guarantees a game 3. Overtime hockey is always exciting.
Just passed it across and the kid didn't even look. He just went around and swatted at it. No, that's a tough goal.
Oh, gosh. Thanks for joining us, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow.